resistance to support. And I'm going to be going over how you could have taken this trade as resistance or as supply. This was a huge area of supply in the markets. So this trade, on the 3rd of November, we had a bounce. On the 4th of November, we had a bounce. On the 5th of November, the 6th of November, we kept bouncing as resistance. So this was a large resistance in the market. Now, the following week, we broke above, so this became support. And then on Wednesday, this also held as support. So this was a nice sort of key level over here. Now, one question I get, and this translates into a problem for traders, right? How do I identify my key levels? So this is something I'm going to break down in this video, right? How do you identify these key levels? So basically, it's two things: order flow and fair value gaps. That's the only thing I use to determine my key levels. So this was a fair value gap that was created on the 31st of October. And I always use a 15-minute. So this is a 15-minute imbalance or a 15-minute fair value gap. So I just mark the candle before. Now, what's interesting here, if you go back and study this on the order flow, and this is where order flow does become important. If you just go back and study it, what you'll find is that price held as supply, price held as supply. And I'm going to explain to you what that means in this video, right? If you stick around till the end, I promise to make this very clear. What does supply actually mean? Why do some fair value gaps hold and some fair value gaps don't hold? Why do some work? Why do some don't work? So I'm going to try my absolute best to answer this question for everyone, right? Again, we held a supply. Again, we held a supply, right? So when price on Thursday reclaimed this area, right? When price reclaimed this area, there's only two things that can happen, right? So we tapped into this zone at, we broke below, call it 9 a.m. Eastern. So this is when I'm getting to my charts, I'm making my pre-market game plans, I'm explaining to traders what I'm looking for. This is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to break down my pre-market game plan from that day, right? So this was the